Hi, we are the Mountain Slippers. Allow me to introduce the team. I'm Jacob Taylor, and I love backpacking in the mountains. I'm here with Chandana Palakuri. She's a trained dancer who enjoys learning different styles of dance. We also have here with us Pavel Shestakov. He's an avid skier and climber, both ice climbing and rock climbing. And last but not least, we have Molly Gupta. She is an avid tennis player, golfer, and skier. Now let's get into the project. So what is it that our team has done? Our project is part of a larger project based around adaptive sports technology. This technology allows for those with complex physical disabilities to enjoy different sports using specialized controllers. What you are seeing here is a person from the rehabilitation hospital at the University of Utah using the TetraDAPT ski sled. This person is using what is called the sip and puff device, which allows him to control the ski using only his breath. One of the major barriers for patients when they are first starting to learn how to use adaptive sports technology is learning the different controls for the sip and puff device. This is where our project comes in. The purpose of our project is to train people with complex physical disabilities on how to use the sip and puff device. To achieve this goal, we have created a training game for patients and a web portal for clinicians to track patients' progress. The training game is an adaptive game based on a player's abilities with the sip and puff device or with the keyboard. This game is very similar to the popular game called Guitar Hero, where notes come down the screen and players use the sip and puff device to hit those notes using specific commands. The web portal provides access, depending on a person's role, to see either information on a patient's progress, which is shown through graphs, to view information on songs being used in the game, or to communicate to the patient on how well they are doing. This project is focused for specific users. For example, as a patient, I want to go and be able to ski or boat using the sip and puff controller, so I need to get trained on this device. I would then play the game and progress through the levels to learn all the different controls. As a player of the game, I want to see my progress, so I can make an account on the web portal to see my personalized progress graphs.
As a clinician that works with these patients, I want to be able to see the progress of all the patients I work with. So, I will make an account on the web portal to view their progress.
Next, we are going to show you how our project is actually used.
In our game, we have implemented a speech recognition implementation, and what that means is that in every screen, you can use your speech to control any of the inputs, buttons, and all that stuff like that. So on the screen here, there is a microphone here, and that shows that there is speech recognition on the screen. So for an example, to enter an email, you have to go through the specific phrasing, and once you go through that, the email will automatically be put into this input box. To click this button, you just need to say the name of the button. So now I'll show you actually how the email works. Email, Molly G9. Domain, Gmail. And as you can see here, the email was put into input box. So after the email page, where you enter your email and click the next page, you'll come to this page. And over here, you can click which device you would like to play the game with. So you have like the sip and puff, keyboard, joystick. And then after that, you can also go down here and click which song you would like to play the game with. And it doesn't matter which song you pick, it's just the song that will be playing. And once you start the game, if you are a new player, you will start at the most basic level. So it'll be level 1, and you'll have just very basic keys. And part of our game is we've implemented an adaptive algorithm. So as you get better at the game will get harder. But it's also the other way around. So if you are pretty bad at sips, the game will stay at the level you're at, but focus on the sips and provide more sips to you so you can get better at it. The same applies to the puffs. So there's like a number line that you follow for each level, and you progressively get better and better at it. And now we will show you how the game actually works. We are now going to demo you the basic features that our game has. As you can see, Sip and Puff is selected as our input device, and Champion's Demo is our song. And now we will click the Start Game button. So since we are a new user, we are given the option to have a tutorial. We're going to click no just because we're going to go straight into the game. And so you can see here there's 4 different inputs. Pasha right now just did the sip, and now he's going to do a puff. And on the right here, there is a gauge that shows you how much you're sipping and how much you're puffing to really determine if you're doing the correct amount. If you go into the red zone, then that's just the danger zone. On the right here, this orange is a double puff, and then on the left here is a double sip. Those are both implementations that are needed for the Tetra ski. And as you can see, he's too late on that one. And here is the long note, which is also another necessary function that's needed for the Tetra ski, and that's how long you have to hold a note for, and that's what the game trains you for.
Okay, so as you're playing the training game, all of the data is collected and stored in a database, and then it's displayed here on our web portal. So here you can see it's like some stuff about the game. What is the purpose? We've got some pictures in a carousel, as well as some user testimonials and a download section, so you can actually download it onto your computer and play. If we go ahead and log in here, if you haven't registered, you can register, but we have an account, so we'll go ahead and log in. Okay, so we're logged in. Now I'm logged in as a clinician, so I can go over the players page. And here I have a view of all the patients, players, whomever, how they're doing in our game. This graph just gives like an aggregate overview of their performance. So we can just show you from the demo you just saw, this is the player. So we've got just a few data points here. And this first graph shows you the sip accuracy. So they went from 30% accuracy to 62, and then they went down a little bit. So this is just the line graph for the accuracy. You can select whichever graph you want. There's also graphs for the pressure. So this is the average pressure on the sip and play device. And then you just have another view of similar data here. As a clinician, I can also leave a comment on the player's page and say, hi, you're doing great.
Is there something else I can help with?
And leave a comment.
In this project, the tech stack used for the web portal is an ASP stack hosted on an AWS EC2 instance using SQL database. Data is sent between the ASP web portal and the 3D Unity game via REST API endpoints we built from scratch. In the web portal, we harnessed the Google Visualization API for graphs and SendGrid for email notifications. In our Unity game, we made an AI algorithm from scratch to make our game adaptive and used the Google Speech-to-Text API for extra accessibility. Over the course of the Capstone project, we completed 150 tasks, committed 464 times to our GitLab repositories, and closed 94 merge requests. We were able to talk to several users throughout the development, while 3 of these users met with us bi-weekly. Through their feedback, we were led to change and add many features such as the pressure gauge in the Unity game, the metric for the average pressure on the different commands, the speech recognition to navigate throughout the game, and a tutorial that explains the different components of the game. Along with the feedback on the Unity game, we received input on the web portal, which led to changing how the graphs are displaying the data and the addition of special administrator capabilities. In summary, we maintained effective software engineering practices throughout the project. We used ASP Stack and 3D Unity game to create an environment where patients can be well trained on the sip and puff device. Through user feedback and original design, we have added in many useful features that make our training game effective. Patients will be better prepared to go out on the slopes and enjoy skiing.
All in all, our project is needed to create a better living lifestyle for patients with complex physical disabilities. We accomplish this by giving them the adaptive sports opportunities they would otherwise not have through training on the sip and puff device. So let's go change their lives.